Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. I bet you guys never heard of this Navy Federal backdoor hack with $20, okay? And if this video is good, all I'm asking you all is to like, share, and comment, okay? Because what I found out about Navy Federal that a lot of people still are getting wrong when you're trying to get that $25,000 credit cards with Navy Federal, we all know about the steps, okay? And for those of you that may not be familiar with the steps, I'm going to take you through it so you can understand it, all right? The steps with Navy Federal is when you join, and I told you, anybody can join, even if you sharing the same address with somebody and they're a member of Navy Federal, you can join, okay? So it doesn't have to be military, as long as you're sharing the same address, all right? And a lot of people are not aware of this. Again, the one thing that I do tell you guys is do not buy a Navy Federal access number, because if you buy a Navy Federal access number, okay, and they find out that the access number is not active, then what they can do, not only close down your account, but they can also hit you with fraud. All right. So that's the reason I tell you guys. And I've told you there's plenty of credit unions out there. However, the thing about it with some people, they get so caught up on Navy Federal, and I tell them, I just put out a video yesterday. You guys may want to go check it out, that I was actually showing you another credit union that's running circles around Navy Federal. Okay, so you may want to go check that video out. All right, now here's the thing about it. The Navy Federal steps, all right, open up the checking account, do the direct deposit, right? Now, I want to stop right here because this here is where the hack comes in. Most people think that they have to have a direct deposit by working a job, right? They have to have a job and deposit. That's not correct, okay? That's not, oh, I wouldn't say that's not correct. That's not the only way. Here's the way to do it. If you have a side hustle, okay, you can set up a company. This is just one way. You can set up a company, all right? And then when you register that company, open up the business bank account, then you can have direct deposit from there, all right? So you can actually have your business bank account cutting you a check into your Navy Federal. That will cover your direct deposit. That's one way, okay? Another way is if you have a bank, okay, you can do a push method. And so the push method is where you're transferring money from your one bank over here, like say from Bank of America, and you transferring that money over to Navy Federal. That counts as a deposit, okay? And what you want to do, like I said, with the $20 hack, this is where it comes in at. All you have to do is have that $20 being deposited weekly, okay? Have it deposited weekly. And I would do it, I would take it a step further. And I would have $20 going into my personal checking account with Navy Federal, and I'm going to break those down to you as well, and to my savings account. Now, there's one other step, okay? And this here step is when you actually set up an investment account, okay? And so when you set up an investment account, you can actually transfer the funds from your investment account over to your personal checking account as well. And this qualifies as deposits as well, okay? So that's 3 different ways. Now, going back to Navy Federal, here's the thing about it. It's all about the internal score, right? And again, the deposits is where most people would struggle because they figure that, well, I'm just doing a side hustle. I don't have regular deposits. Now you have 3 ways that you actually can do deposit. And if you need help with the company being set up, you can schedule a one-on-one consultation because that's what we do. By the way, it's getting close to the end of the year. And I keep on telling you guys, you should set up your company now and registered. So January 1st, that company will be actually 1 year old. And you'll also have at least 60 days in on that checking account. Okay, so you will have at least 2 months of bank statements. So when you have bad credit, some of these companies, they would look at your bank statements. Okay, and if you have small deposits in it, and I'll share some of those companies with you as well in a minute. But having those small deposits, this still can help you qualify for loans, even if you have bad credit. Okay. This is outside of Navy Federal. So I'll tell you about some of those companies in a minute. Now, going back to Navy Federal, having the flagship account, if you don't have the flagship account, which is their premium account, what you have to do, you have to have at least 20 monthly transactions of your regular checking account, and that qualifies just like a premium account. Okay. Now, that's also one. Again, we talked about the savings account, then definitely having a pledge loan. Okay. Now, I've talked to many people, and people say, well, I'd started a pledge loan with $10,000. Well, I started a pledge loan with $25,000. Now, here's something that people don't realize when they're starting that pledge loan with those high limits. Actually, you're creating a primary trade line. Okay, a high limit primary trade line. And so what that does, when you apply to edit other credit cards with that high limit trade line on the credit file, okay, and they see that you have that $10,000 or $25,000, guess what? Then that also helps you get higher limits as well as you adding like authorized users that have like a high limit on it, and the aging of it. Like I said, with authorized users, all authorized users are not equal, because they may not transfer the history. So if it transfers the limit, yes, it will help drop down your DTI, your debt to income ratio. However, with that authorized user, if the history is just going to add, if it's not bringing that history over, it's going to look like a new account. And so by looking like a new account, it would reduce the aging of your credit file. Okay, so that's something you have to keep in mind, because I've seen plenty of people, their family members add them on because they just got approved for a high limit credit card. However, because it's a brand new account, all it'll do is just help with lowering the DTI, but the aging of the credit file will actually reduce instead of becoming older, because that age, there was no aging there. So that's something that a lot of people are not aware of. All right. Now, another thing that you want to do with Navy Federal, especially when you're brand new to them, and this, again, the internal score goes from 100 to 450. So you want to have as many accounts, especially when you have bad credit, going over. All right. So another thing is do the CD. Okay. They have the starter CD for like $50. You can do the one for $250. Do the CD or the money market account. I promise you, having multiple accounts and you having bad credit, what ends up happening, that usually when you try to go get a secured card, all right, what ends up happening, because you have these multiple accounts, especially with that direct deposit going on, then that actually will help you bypass getting that secured card, and it actually will help you get an unsecured card. All right. So that's the reason why you want to do that. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys, if I were you, following those steps, especially like I said, most people get stuck on being able to do that direct deposit. Now I done gave you 3 ways that you actually can legally do the direct deposit, and it will count as a direct deposit. So I hope this video helps you. Again, if you find the information helpful, please give me a like, share the information, because I'm always trying to help the community, and I just ask you all to reciprocate. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video.